With Tim Tebow now in the fold in Jacksonville, I read one analysis of the move that said Tebow will be just fine as a tight end because his quarterback is ridiculously good. His quarterback is, of course, number 1 overall draft pick Trevor Lawrence, who has yet to take a snap in a live game but is already among the favorites to win NFL Rookie of the Year, of course. According to Pro Football Focus, though, Lawrence isn't even in the top half of starting quarterback rankings in terms of their predictions for next season, but he is given the highest ranking of 90 and will certainly be among the top rookies if he stays healthy and upright. Here are the Rookie of the Year odds for the coming season. Lawrence leads the line at plus 270, followed by new Chicago quarterback Justin Fields at plus 550. Trey Lance in San Francisco plus 650, but I'm not sure how much Lance is going to play, depending on the Jimmy G situation. If you want to go long shot, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith are your guys. And one of our guys giving us more on the rookie rankings, our NFL draft analyst, Chris Trapasso, who has an in-depth look with his picks over on CBSSports.com. Be sure to check that out. And Chris, you're not on the Trevor Lawrence Rookie of the Year bandwagon. You are courting your inner Chris Hassel and going with Justin Fields here. Why?
Justin Fields reminds me on the field so much of Deshaun Watson. He is a big-time athlete for the quarterback position. We know he can improvise, get outside the pocket, create with his legs. Was very accurate throwing the football at Ohio State, which is pretty important. And he loves stretching defenses vertically down the field. And when you look at the situation in Chicago, there's a pretty low bar set for that quarterback spot, both in terms of recent history coming off the Trubisky era. And this is a franchise over the last, 20 or 30 years that has been starving for a franchise quarterback. And it's easy to forget, but the Bears were in the playoffs last season. And a lot of times when we have seen the Bears in the playoffs, they've been propped up by their defense. I think this year with Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller, even Cole Kmet, the tight end they picked in the second round last year, and those 2 good running backs, this will be a Bears team back in the playoffs. But this time it will not be led by its defense. It will be led by Justin Fields, who will help this team be a lot more dynamic offensively. I think it will be a close race, but because the Bears get back to the playoffs and improve on offense, I think Fields will just get a few more votes than Trevor Lawrence for the award.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that you're totally against Lawrence here. I don't want you to get, flooded with tweets and whatnot. It's not to say you don't like Lawrence. You call him the layup pick for Rookie of the Year. What concerns you enough about Lawrence, or perhaps his situation, to put what many call a generational talent at number 2?
Yeah, he's number 2, so I still think he's going to have a big season. What I'm a little leery about is the offensive line. It hasn't been that good of a group over the past couple of seasons. They franchise tagged Cam Robinson, their left tackle, but he's really not that great of a blocker on the edge. I think it's still very much a work in progress. And we've seen some very highly touted quarterback prospects enter the league over the past couple of seasons, and the ones who have struggled out of the gate or not met those expectations are the ones that have a shaky offensive line. So I think the skill position talent is good. I love Lawrence's talent more than anything else. I'm just a little bit concerned about him being pressured at a high rate that will lead to some more hurried decisions, maybe some more interceptions. Again, I think it will be a close race. Lawrence will get votes, but I ultimately think Fields will edge him out for the award.
Well, Joe Burrow, a guy who is used to that quarterback pressure coming into the league, has a new toy in Cincinnati. It's a toy he's used to having in his bag, former LSU teammate wide receiver Jamar Chase. What do you like about Chase in this spot?
I just like the fact that he, again, is reuniting with Joe Burrow. And like you mentioned, they dominated the SEC in 2019. Jamar Chase had almost 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. I like that they already have an established connection, and I like the fact that although Jamar Chase will be the number 1 receiver right out of the gate in Cincinnati, they do have some other secondary pass-catching options in T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd that will occasionally draw defensive attention. This is going to be a better team offensively in year 2 under Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase's presence on the roster will be a big reason why.
Okay, so those are your top 3 offensive Rookie of the Year candidates. Now, you didn't ignore the other side of the ball either. You've got a full rundown of defensive Rookie of the Year candidates as well. Leading the way there is Washington linebacker Jamin Davis. Not a lot of tape on Davis, so tell us what you like about him.
Yeah, he was a one-year wonder at Kentucky, but he's big. He is very rangy, and most importantly, he made a ton of plays on the football in coverage at Kentucky. And the situation with the Washington football team couldn't be any better. He's going to be playing behind an absolutely loaded defensive line with 4 former first-round picks there in the trenches. They're going to keep him clean and seeing not a lot of linemen getting to the second level. This, to me, is the best combination of pure talent in the linebacker in Jamin Davis and someone that will be in a great situation behind that defensive line. I think he'll be a 100-plus tackle player and make a handful of splash plays in coverage.
All right, 100-plus tackles. That's a good start to your NFL career. Second on your defensive list for Rookie of the Year, Giants edgeman Azeez Ojulari. When talent meets opportunity, success is usually the result. What kind of opportunity is this Giants defense presenting for Ojulari?
Well, we saw down the stretch last season that the Giants defense is on the rise, but I think it really needs a true number one edge rusher. And in 2 years at Georgia, at a very young age, Ojulari proved that he can be that number one rusher on a very good defense. Last year, he led the SEC, creating a pressure almost 21% of his pass rushing snaps. And that's a higher rate than Chase Young, what he had in his final season at Ohio State. He actually reminds me a lot of Von Miller. I don't think he's as naturally talented as Von Miller, but they're similarly sized, and their games are predicated on explosion, bend around the corner, and Ojulari is very deceptively powerful at the point of attack. So there is a need for a premier edge rusher on that team. And I think Ojulari proved in the SEC, the NFL's farm system, that he can be that number one edge rusher on a good defense.
And lastly, you have a special place in your heart for Cleveland linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. What about him makes you have him as one of the three front runners for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Well, he was my highest graded defender in the 2021 NFL draft, so I loved him as a prospect. I really think he has the athleticism and the instincts to transcend the linebacker position in what's becoming more of a positionless NFL. There are some veterans in front of him on that Cleveland roster, but once Cleveland's defensive coordinator, Joe Woods, understands how to properly use someone that's as versatile as Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I think he is going to be a star in that defense that will be very improved. That's part of a very, very good Cleveland Browns team. He has awesome instincts, awesome against the run, can really cover the slot, and he tracks the football like a safety down the field. So to be a big stat producer on a very good team, that's a good ingredient to get Defensive Rookie of the Year consideration.
And Owusu-Koramoah plus 1,100 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's a pretty good number as well if you want to lock that in early. Chris, great stuff. CBS Sports NFL draft analyst Chris Trapasso. Be sure to check out his Rookie of the Year articles over on CBSSports.com. And be sure to check out the Pick Six podcast for all the latest news, insight, and analysis of this and every other hot football topic. Will Brinson and the cavalcade of Super Friends always bringing it. Download and follow wherever you get your podcast audio.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.